Intermediate class, número 9, ok? Material 2, getting down to business. Hello, Elizabeth. How are you today? Fine?
Yes.
You're good today? Not tired?
Yes,
or just a
I'm
little?
fine. No, not tired.
Very good, very good. Yeah, you have a beautiful smile, so that's excellent.
Yes.
How are you, Gloria?
I'm fine, teacher. And about you?
I'm very well, thank you. Okay. Oscar, how are you, my friend?
Hi, Roberto. I'm fine. And you?
Good, good. Thiago, is everything all right?
Hello, teacher. I'm fine, and you?
I'm all right. Thanks for asking. Erica, I hope you're still fine, even if you don't answer me. I hope everything is running well. Okay? Okay, that's it. Well, today's class is going to be a very important class, especially for the girls, especially for women. You can say, why, teacher? Well,
why, teacher?
Because women enjoy an activity that in order to dominate this, they need to dominate today's class. So you're going to be an expert in gossiping. Do you know what's gossiping?
No.
Gossiping. Who knows what is gossiping? Oh, Regina now's got a nice headphone, huh? Yeah, but you are muted. We are not listening to you.
Teacher.
Yes.
I think that gossiping is, for example, when you talk about a life of someone with a friend, for example.
Oh.
And who specifically loves doing this, Thiago? Do you think men or women?
The men like to.
Yeah, I agree with Gloria. Men also likes to talk about.
I think
but girl,
everybody
but
like this.
It's more common maybe, but men
no.
also.
I think we like telling truths. Women like gossiping, understand? We like telling facts. Women sometimes they exaggerate in the facts, understand?
Yes.
But,
no. Women have details of the fact. The fact.
That's another
have
point.
Many details. The men are more
objective.
Objective.
Yes.
Direct. Okay. Direct.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I think.
But he likes to know about this.
Yeah, we like to listen about facts. Okay.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
But what is the idea? Imagine, for example, that you are talking to Mary. Mary is a friend of yours, and Mary tells you that she is pregnant, but she asks you not to tell anyone about it because nobody knows. Well,
I am a grave.
Yes, you're a grave. I can imagine.
Yeah.
So, yes, so what happens? The next day, you are walking on the street and you, let's say, while walking on the the street, you meet Susan. The first thing you tell Susan, the first thing you tell Susan is, have you heard about Mary? Have you heard about Mary? Susan's going to say, no. What about her? And then, of course, using passive voice as we studied, I was told she is pregnant. Okay. You see, I was told she's pregnant.
I was told, teacher.
Yes, not to say that it was Mary that told you, understand? Then I was told, somebody told me that she's pregnant. Susan's going to say, oh, you're kidding me, really? But she's so young. Yes, but she's pregnant. So this is a way of telling things. And this
is a crazy girl.
Yes, I don't know. It happens, okay? But yes, but anyway, we need to learn a lot of things in order to gossip well. Otherwise, we are not going to gossip. We are going to lie. We are going to distort the truth. We are going to invent things. Understand?
Yeah.
And in any language, in Portuguese, in English, in French, in Italian, you always have two ways of telling things. One way is called direct speech. Let me see if okay. Direct speech. This is when you say something using the exact words that you heard, like, Mary told me, I am pregnant.
Right.
And the indirect speech is when we listen to something, it goes inside of our brain, we interpret it, and we say it. Like, I was told, because I don't want to mention the name of Mary, I was told Mary is pregnant. Okay? You see, I don't use the inverted comma. I am. Who is pregnant? Mary. So I was told she's pregnant. Mary's pregnant. This is called indirect speech. Many times we don't need to change the tense of the verb. Like I am, we preserve the verb in the present. Mary is. Because the situation is still happening. But 99% of the times, what we do is we change the tense of the verb in order to make it more appropriate. And this is what we are going to study today. There are so many changes involved that you need to pay attention. So, reported speech. This is what we are going to talk about. Can you read the definition for us, Gloria, please?
I think that she's muted.
Gloria, you are mute.
I read a lot.
Well, I'm sorry, you have to read again.
I have read a lot, teacher. Report speak. Definition. Report speak, also called indirect speak, is
Speech.
used
Speech.
speech is used to communicate what someone else said, but without using the exact words. A few changes are necessary. Often, a pronoun has to be changed and the verb is usually moved back a tense where possible. Example, he said that he would be here in time. The person's exact words were, I'll be there in time.
You see, if you compare I'll be there in time with he said he would be here in time, we have two differences. Will, I change it to would, and there, I change it to here. Because maybe the place is not the same, understand? So when you are telling a story, you need to try to adapt the story to make it as precise as possible, understand? And these involve sometimes a lot of alterations. Expressions of place, expressions of time, verb tenses, okay? That's why this is a very important lesson, and I really want you to pay attention to it, okay? So let's continue here. Oh, direct definition. Regina, can you read this for me, please?
Direct speech is used to give the exact words used by another speaker. The words are given between quotation marks in writing. Example, I'm working now, she said.
Okay, you see, I am using the exact words of what she said. For example, William Shakespeare once said, to be or not to be, that's the question. You see, I'm quoting him. I'm using his exact words. Or I could say, for example, JFK once said, don't ask what America can do for you. Ask what you can do for America. You see, that's why I put the quotation marks, because I'm quoting a person, understand? Okay. And it's interesting because everything we say usually refers to something that we heard, something that we saw, or something that we read in the newspaper. So we are using these practically all the time to talk. If you dominate the technique of changing from direct to indirect, your conversation improves a lot. Understand? So we have here the indirect speech. Oscar, can you read this for us?
Okay. Definition. Indirect speech, also called reported speech, is used to communicate what someone else said, but without using the exact words. The tenses of the verbs are often changed.
Okay. So, read example.
She said that she was working at the moment.
At that moment.
At that moment.
The exact words was, I am working now. Okay, she said. You see, when I change the verb. Well, she said, she, not I am working, she was working, and it's not now. It's at that moment, the moment I talked to her. Now I don't know if she's working or not. Understand? Can you follow me or no? Difficult.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay, teacher.
Excellent. So, when to use direct or
Very clear.
indirect? Okay, thank you. I'm glad. Tiago, can you read this part? We use reported speech.
Okay. We use reported speech when we are saying what other people say, think, or believe, or even something that we saw or read.
Or read.
Or read.
Yeah,
He
you
says-
see, Tiago,
Okay.
if you observe something that we saw is in the past, right? So I could not say something that we saw or read because read is present. So I must have this
Okay.
something that we saw or read, okay?
Okay.
Read the examples, please.
He says he wants it.
He
We
says,
think- He says he wants it. We think you are right. I believe he loves her. Yesterday you said you didn't like it, but now you do. She told me he had asked her to marry him. I told you she was real.
eu,
Will. Okay.
eu,
We thought-
Sick.
Will. Okay.
and not will, eu, only eu.
You.
If you don't like this word, you can use sick.
Sick.
It's the same.
I got it. And we thought he was in Australia.
Okay. Any question about this?
No.
You see, in all the examples here, we are using reported speech. We are telling what somebody said, what we think, okay? And blah, blah, blah. You see, pay attention to the next part. Camila, can you read the next part for us, please?
Teacher, I have a question. We can put that, the word that, in all the phrases. We think that you are right. I believe that he loves her.
Okay, is it me or Camila?
Me.
Me?
Yes.
Me. Yes, it is possible, but it's not common anymore. I myself don't use it. Brazilians tend to keep the use of that because you think in Portuguese, understand?
Yeah.
But because of cell phones and people text a lot, they are trying to shorten as much as possible. So they have omitted completely the use of that. That's why in the first part, I put that in parentheses because it's not necessary. She said that. But if you use, of course, everybody understands. I myself, I don't use. Okay?
Both are correct.
Yes, it's exactly the same.
Okay. Thank
Okay?
you. Okay.
Can you read the other part? When we are reporting things,
Okay, teacher. When we are reporting things in the present, future, or present perfect, we don't change the tense. Examples. He thinks he loves her. I will tell her you are coming. He has said he will do it.
okay, you see, most of the times, if the sentences are in the present, future, or present perfect, we don't change. We just say it, okay? But continue reading, please, Camila. When we tell people what,
When we tell people what someone has said in the past, we generally make the tense more in the past. You look very nice.
thank you, Camila.
I told him he looked I told him he looked very nice. He's working in Siberia now.
Siberia.
Siberia now. She told me he was working in Siberia now. Polly has bought a new car. She said Polly had bought a new car. Joe can't come for the weekend. She said Joe couldn't come for the weekend. Paul called and left a message. He told me Paul had called and had left me a message. I will give you a hand. He said he would give me a hand.
Okay, what's happening here? All the first sentence, you look very nice, he's working, Polly has bought, Joe can't come, Paul called, except for this. All the others are in the present, but this is something I was told in the past, not in the present. Understand? Like yesterday, I met Susan at a party, and I told her, "Wow, you look very nice." You see? And today she was telling her friends, "Oh, the teacher saw me last night, and he said I was looking very nice." Okay, this is a way of reporting things. So everything you heard here was in the past. That's why we usually change the tense more in the past. Okay. Now, me, can you read the next part?
However, when we are reporting something that was said in the past but is still true, it's not obligatory to make the tense more in the past. The choice is up to the speaker. For example, the train doesn't stop here.
Okay. When I arrived in Milan, before coming to Turin, I was told that there was a bus from the airport of Milan to Turin. So I walked to the bus stop. There was a bus sign. I stood there, I looked around, there wasn't anybody, and I waited and I waited. And then a police officer called me and said, "Excuse me, sir, are you waiting for the bus?" I said, "Yeah." "Well, there are no more buses." I said, "Really?" "Yes. The buses don't stop here anymore." And I was, "Oh, very nice. Okay." And then I left. You see, so if whatever you listen is still true, you don't have to change. He told me that the train didn't stop there because it's still true. So you just say like this, oh, he said, read me. Me?
He said the train doesn't stop here. He said the train didn't stop here.
Okay. The choice here is yours. You can decide if you preserve the verb in the present. He said the train doesn't stop here anymore, or he said the train didn't stop here anymore. It's up to you, okay? And just to finish, read the next example. Me. I like Sarah.
I like Sarah. She said she likes Sarah. She said she liked Sarah.
Okay, it's the same. Here, no problem, okay? Elizabeth, can you read the next part, please?
When you are reporting what was said, we sometimes have to change other words in the sentence.
In the sentence.
You have to change the pronoun if you are reporting what someone else said. Compare these two
sentences. In each case,
the person actually said, "I don't want to go." I said I didn't want to go. Bill said he didn't want to go.
Okay, Just a moment, please, Elizabeth. You will read more, but I want to explain. You see, I don't want to go. Who said that? You? Mary? Susan? You see, you need to adequate what you heard to the person who said that. If you said that, you can just say, well, I said I didn't want to go because I'm tired. But if it was Bill who said that, then you have to say, well, Bill said he didn't want to go because he was tired. Understand what I'm trying to say or no?
Okay.
Yeah? Okay?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Elizabeth, read the next part, please.
We have to change words referring to
Referring
to here and now. If we are refer what was said in different place or time. Compare these your sentence.
Two sentences.
Two sentences. In each case, the person actually said, I will be there in 10 tomorrow.
At 10 tomorrow.
At 10 tomorrow. If it is later, say later,
same day.
Repeat. If it is later the same day, he said he would be there at 10 tomorrow. If it's the next day, he said he would be there at 10 today.
Yes, you see, that's another interesting point. You have to change the time expressions. If it's the same day, you can preserve today. But if he said today, but he told you that yesterday, you have to change. All right? Okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, finish this part, please, Elizabeth. Now compare these two sentences.
Now compare these two sentences. If you are in a different place, he said he would be there tomorrow at 10. If you are to place here, comment.
He's coming to.
He said he would be here at 10 tomorrow.
Yes, here I'm changing not the time expression, but the place expression. Okay, he said he would be there if you are in a different place. If you are in the same place, well, he said he would be here at 10 tomorrow. Okay, so observe, now I'm going to read. Observe what happens concerning verbs.
Teacher.
If indeed, yes.
When I want to say aí, like aqui, lá, aí in Portuguese. Here, there.
There.
There too?
There, yes.
Okay.
Well, if you want to say, for example, your brother, oh, I love living here at Telêmaco Borba. He told me he loves living there. Where? In Telêmaco Borba. Understand? Mm-hmm. But he is going to say, oh, I love living here because he is in Telêmaco Borba. All right? Mm-hmm. So you need to try, okay, to make the new sentence as precise as possible in terms of place, in terms of time, okay, and also in terms of verb tense. So usually, if the verb in the direct speech is in the simple present, you change to the simple past. If it's in the simple past, in the present perfect, or in the past perfect, all of them only go to the past perfect. If you have will, can, may, you change to would, could, might. If you have verb to be, am, are, is, you change to was or were. Okay? If you have has been or had been, both change to had been. So pay attention to the examples below. Okay? Regina, can you read some for me? Tom
Yes.
said.
From Tom said, I studied English online. Tom told me he studied English online.
You see,
English online.
can you see the difference?
Yes.
So, Tom said, well,
Studied, told me, studied.
yes. Now I said, Tom told me because he said that to me. But if
Yes.
Tom said that to Susan, I would probably say,
Told
Tom,
her.
yes, Regina. Tom told Susan he studied English online. Tom told his mother he studied English online. Okay? So
Okay.
the more precise we can be, the better it is. Okay? What's the other example, Regina?
Tom said, I studied English online. Told me that he had studied English online.
It's not even necessary to read that.
Okay.
I
Okay.
only included because I
The-
thought me would like to see it. Okay, me?
Okay. Don't use more.
No.
Okay.
I continue.
Yes, please. Read until the
Uh,
next one.
Tom, Tom said, I have studied English online. Tom told me he had studied English online.
And the last one. The last one, Regina. Tom said,
Me, Tom said, I had studied English
study.
online. Study English online. Tom told me he had studied English online. What?
Studied. Studied.
Studied.
English online. You see, no difference here in the three cases. Simple past, present perfect, past perfect, all go to the past perfect. Okay?
Yes.
Raquel,
Okay.
can you read the next examples, please?
Studied.
Tom said, I have studied English online. Tom told me he had studied English online. Tom said, I had studied English online.
No, it's
No.
the next part. I will
will
call.
Oh,
Will
I
call.
will. Okay, sorry. Tom said, I will call the teacher. Tom told me he would call the teacher. Tom said, I can call the teacher. Tom told me he could call the teacher. Tom said, I may call the teacher. Tom told me he might call the teacher. Tom said he would call the teacher. Could, would, should, might, must, ought to, oh?
Yes. Yes, ought to. Ought to is the same as should. They don't change. They don't change.
Yes, this.
You see, Tom told he would call the teacher. Tom.
Teacher.
Yes.
Ought to.
Yes, Regina. Ought to is the same as should. Perfect synonym. You should study more. You ought to study more. But it's not used in questions and it's not used in negative, only in affirmative. And this is kind of old English, okay? But it still exists. Sometimes, especially in books, you find this a lot, okay? Now, Eric Malinovsky from Telemaco Borba. Can you read the other part for me, please?
Okay. Tom said, I am calling the teacher now.
Calling.
Calling. Tom told me he was calling the teacher at that moment.
Okay.
Tom said, I was calling the teacher. Tom said, I have been calling the teacher. Tom said, I had been calling the teacher when. Tom told me he had been calling the teacher.
Okay. Any question about this or no?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's continue. Camila, can you, Camila? Yes, is it Camila now?
Yeah.
Okay, can you read this for me, please? If the sentence that you're changing.
Note, if the sentence that you are changing contains any time expression or place expression, you also have to change it in order to make your reported speech more precise.
Yes, more precise. For example?
Examples, this morning, that morning. Today, this day, that day. Tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, the next day. Yesterday, the day before.
Okay, you have a few more, Camila. Let me change the page, please.
Okay.
Now?
Now, at that moment, then. A week ago, a month ago, a year ago. A week before, a month before, a year before. Last weekend, last month. The weekend before, the month before. Here, there. Next week, next month. A week after that, a month after that. Tomorrow, the next day, the following day.
Okay, you see how many changes you have to make in order to make it precise? Okay, it's a lot of little details. Of course, if you confuse and you don't change the time expression, the other person can understand you, but he is not going to get the right idea. Understand? Like yesterday, Paul told me, I'll go to São Paulo tomorrow. Today, I'm telling you, well, I spoke to Paul and he told me he's going to São Paulo tomorrow. But it's not tomorrow, it's today. Understand? Because he told me that yesterday. Can you see what happens if you don't change? You don't express yourself precisely. This, read the examples we have here.
Example, John said, I will pick you up here in a few minutes. John told me he will pick me up here in a few minutes. Or Mary said New York is one of the most amazing cities here in the USA. Mary told me New York is one of the most amazing cities here in the USA.
You see, in this case, there was no change. No, there was no change in the time or place expression, Gloria. That's why you keep it the same. Understand? I am talking to you in front of Italy, for example. And then I receive a call. John says, where are you? We are at Italy. Okay, I'll pick you up there in a few minutes. I'll pick you up there in a few minutes. And then you ask me, what did John say? Well, he said, you pick me up here in a few minutes. Okay? Because there was no change of place or time. Like Mary said, New York is one of the most amazing cities here in the United States. She is in the United States, and New York is still one of the most amazing cities. So you don't have to change anything. You only change Mary said to Mary told me. John said to John told me. That's it. Because there was no change in time or place expression. All right?
All right.
Understand this or no?
Yes.
It's okay.
Yes.
Excellent. Let's see what happens, because if you observe it, all the examples that we saw were affirmative or negative statements. Let's see what happens when I have questions. Adriana, can you read this for us, please? Reported speech with questions.
Okay. So now you have no problem with make a reported speech from positive or negative statements. But how about your question? 1. Direct speech, where do you live?
Speech.
Speech, direct speech, where do you live? How can you make the indirect speech here?
Okay.
Continue.
Yes, please. In fact,
it's not so different from reported statements. The sentence changes are the same, and we keep the question word. The very important thing, though, is that once we won't tell the question to someone else, it isn't a question anymore. So we need to change the grammar to a normal positive sentence. Confused? Sorry. Maybe these examples will help.
okay.
So to look again at the...
Now, forget about to. Look again.
So look again at the example. Direct speech, where do you live? Indirect speech, she asked me where I lived.
Okay. In the previous case was she said, I live near your house. Okay? This is an affirmative statement. Then you change it to she told me she lived near my house, right? So the first important change was she said to she told me, or she told Paul, she told Susan. You need to adequate. Here, what happens? She said, yes.
She told me she lives. No, she lived.
Yes. Why? Why have I changed it? Because I don't know if it's true or not. She told me she lived. Understand?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what I said. It is up to you to change. I changed because I don't know if it's true or not. Well, she said she lived near my house, but I have never seen her in the neighborhood. Okay?
Okay, mm-hmm. Okay, understand. Thank you.
So, she said, where do you live? The first thing you need to observe, is this an affirmative or a negative statement or a question?
Question.
So I'm not going to say, she told me, because it was a question. She asked me, okay, or she asked him, okay, for example, where he lived. Okay, as I said, you always need to adequate. She asked me where I lived. Why lived and not where I live? Because the same reason. It was a question. In the past, she said, she asked me. Understand?
Yes.
So In this case, me is for you. We never use that, never. We use the same question word, okay?
Okay.
Now, we have more examples here? No. Let me see who is next. Vanessa,
Hi.
can you read this part for me, please?
Yes. Do you see how I have made it? The direct question is in the present simple tense. We ask a present simple question with do or does, but we don't need it in the reported speech. So we take it away. Then I need to change the verb to one tense back. How about another example? Direct speech. Where is Julie? She asked
Yes.
me where Julie was.
All right. You see, it's not a question anymore. I'm already saying she asked me where Julie was. That's it. Okay? And Dirce, can you finish reading this part for us, please? The direct question.
The direct question is the present simple of be. We make the question form of the present simple of the be by inverting, changing the position of the subject and verb. So we need to change them back before putting the verb into the past simple. Here are some more examples. Direct questions. Where is the post office, please? Report question. She asked me where the post office was. What are you doing? She asked me what I was doing. Who was that fantastic man? She asked me who that fantastic man had been.
Okay, because it's already in the past, I changed to the past perfect. So the changes are the same, okay? Any problem about this or no?
No.
No.
Oh, I really need you to study this, to study the time expressions that you need to change, not to confuse tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the next day. Yesterday is going to be the day before. Here is usually going to be there and so on. Tomorrow we'll continue talking about this. Thank you very much for watching my class. I hope you have been able to learn something and tomorrow we'll check this. All right?
Thank you, Roberto.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow at the same time.
See you everyone tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.